Ready to laugh nonstop. The New York Comedy Festival kicks off on Monday in New York City. More than 200 comedians, late-night hosts, and podcast stars will perform more than 100 shows over the week at venues all over town. It is the chance to see favorite comedians, check out new talent. Some of the shows will benefit charities, so you can laugh and do good for others at the same time. HIrsch, the founder of the festival and owner of the famed comedy club Caroline's on Broadway. All right, we're right down memory lane here.
Yes.
She's with us right now. So nice to see you. I mean, the iconic club that you have. We saw Jerry Seinfeld. I mean, Robin Williams.
I know.
So nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Just what you've done to nurture and help us all laugh.
It's been a long time. It's been over 30 years the Caroline's been open, which is a feat in itself in New York City to be open for that long.
I'm sure
but
it is.
It's the 16th year of the New York Comedy Festival. And so we're really happy about that. And
tell me, how do you do it? It's not all at one place, it's different venues.
It's all over. I mean, we have Trevor Noah at Madison, the big theater at Madison Square Garden. We have Bill Maher at the theater at Madison Square Garden. We have John Oliver, who's part of our Stand Up for Heroes event. We have Randy Rainbow at the Beacon Theater. So we have talent all over the city. We have over 150 shows, way over 200 comedians participating. So it's kind of a, it's a big week for us here in New York.
It's a very big week. You mentioned a charity, and that's important too. How does that tie in? How do people
Stand Up for Heroes is our opening charity benefit of the festival for the last 13 years. We raise money for the Bob Woodruff Foundation, and all of that money goes to grassroots projects that helps the service people that came back from the war in Iraq and Iran.
Caroline, how do you spot talent?
Well, I have, for doing it for so many years, it was something that I learned early on, and I worked with some of the best in the business that we all started together, like Jay Leno, Jerry Seinfeld, Gary Shandling, and kind of watching all of that over the years. And I kind of know we do a new talent night where we get to see up-and-coming people, and I keep my eye on everybody there, so that's how we do. We have also in the festival, we have New York's Funniest, which is a competition that we do at Caroline's on Saturday of next week, which is stars have come out of there like Michael Che and Michelle Wolf and Ricky Velez. So it's all of the best of New York City.
I listen to Kevin Hart's book. I do a lot of audiobooks, and just listening to him and his evolution, for instance, and working at a sporting goods store, I believe. Just the decisions in that time when I'm a comedian, I'm a real person, I'm a comedian, this is my real life. Are people going to laugh at my real life? What makes comedy?
I think, what makes comedy is us all in this community, in the audience, and we laugh at the same things that we all feel that happened to us. It's really about that. I mean, that's what makes us laugh. Oh yeah, that happened to me too. Like, let's look at Larry David. I mean, here's a man that, says everything that we want to say, but.
Right. Right. But times have changed. Political correctness seems to be in the spotlight so much, and there have been a lot of issues with comedians, either apologizing or not feeling they have to. How does that fit in these times?
It is. It's people do watch, but if a joke is funny and poignant and gets to a point, it may not be politically correct, but it may hit a sweet spot and change things. So it's kind of has to be measured properly.
In the article about you in the New York Times today, one of the things I thought was interesting is just the evolution and where we are if you're sort of putting comedy on a graph. And you talk about Eddie Murphy and just, here, I mean, he's a great star decades ago. It sounds funny to even say, and here he is again, and we're still enjoying him, and as a kind of a different, he's morphed in a way.
Eddie Murphy, he was a particular idol of lots of stand-ups.
Yes.
And he really started something way back, in the early 80s when he was first on Saturday Night Live. A lot of young men thought that they could be Eddie, and it kind of opened up doors to a lot of young men that might have been on the street but wanted to do what Eddie did.
Yes.
And it created a whole new genre of comedy that Caroline supported right from the beginning.
Are you funny, Caroline?
I have a good sense of humor.
Certainly the radar for it, that's for sure. Oh, best of luck with the festival.
Thank you.
So excited. And we have all the information online because you can take part in this. And don't forget, there's the charity as well. Caroline HIrsch, so glad to have you here. Caroline's on Broadway, the very famous comedy club known all over the world. For more information on the festival, go to our website, cbsnewyork.com.